2 fucking days ago, Hakeem Jeffries would not denounce the fact that a Democratic Congress member was texting Jeffrey Epstein in the middle of a Congress hearing. Stacey Plaskett, the representative for the Virgin Islands, was texting with Jeffrey Epstein for information during a hearing of Congress. Are you fucking kidding me? Hello? Why can we not all agree that that's bad? And Hakeem Jeffries, in just like a show of amazing leadership, came out and would not denounce that. Would not say that it's a bad thing or say that it's inappropriate, because he is a spineless little bitch. He is a pussy to the nth degree. He has no fucking spine. He has no fucking balls. He is just a little bitch. A neutered little bitch boy. Fuck him.
With the bill to force the release of the Epstein files now cleared through the House, going through the Senate, and on its way to President Trump's desk soon, tonight a Republican effort to punish a Democratic colleague over her contact with Jeffrey Epstein failed inside of the House. That's because moments ago, lawmakers rejected a resolution to censure Democratic delegate Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands.
Why? So much of the leadership in the fucking House came out and immediately just started defending her blindly. And we're like, what about you guys? What about this? What about that? Stop with the whataboutism. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of people being like, oh, well, they're connected to Trumpism. They're connected to Epstein. Well, what about your guy that's connected to Epstein? Arrest them all. Why can't we all agree that those people are most likely bad? They were friends with a registered sex offender. I don't give a fuck if Bill Clinton was a Democrat. Bull fucking shit. Fuck him. The man who created Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Fuck him. The man who had an affair with a 22-year-old at the president of the United States. He's a creep. That's disgusting. That's an insane abuse of power. Hello? She was 20 fucking 2, and he was in his 50s, 60s, and her boss, also the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, the most powerful man in... My God. Why do we have to come out and defend this woman? She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein in 2019, during a 2019 hearing. A registered sex offender. A pedophile, an international sex trafficker. Why can we not just come out and say, hey, that's inappropriate? It doesn't matter if it's across party lines. This is not across party. This isn't a pedophile issue, not a party issue. So why can we not just come out and say, hey, that's inappropriate? Or why can she not just come out and say, hey, you know what? I thought he might have information. It was probably wrong. I apologize. But no, she can't. None of these people can come out and just say the truth.
For texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a 2019 hearing that featured Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen. These were texts that were among the 20,000 pages of documents the House released. Michael
Cohen now is a co-host on the Midas Touch Network. It's funny how things change over the years.
Last week, and they show that Epstein texted Stacey Plaskett saying, quote, Cohen brought up Rona, keeper of the secrets, referring to Trump's longtime assistant, Rona Graff. Plaskett responded, quote, Rona, and then asked, quick, I'm up next.
There were more texts than this. This one was clearly during the House Oversight Committee or Oversight hearing. But there were a lot more texts, and it very clearly showed that they were familiar. They were friendly. I'm not saying they were fucking or anything, but I'm just saying they were familiar. It's not she comes out and says oh my God, she had such an insane interview the other day. This crazy fucking bitch. Fuck Delegate Stacey Plaskett. Fuck that bitch. You are crazy. Because she had the nerve to fucking say, a lot of people have committed a lot of crimes. When a reporter asked her about if she thought it was appropriate to be messaging a criminal, a registered sex offender. She was like, well, a lot of people have done a lot of things. You're crazy. Who are a lot of people and what are a lot of things? Because no, the fuck, I don't know anybody that was an international sex trafficker of children. Apparently you did. That's inappropriate. Don't you think? The fuck? Hello? A lot of people? No. Done a lot of, no. It should be so easy to just come out and say, hey, you know what? Probably wasn't right. He was my constituent and I thought he might have valuable information, but it was probably inappropriate for me to do that and I apologize. That would go over a lot better than coming out and saying, well, a lot of people have done a lot of things. He was one of my constituents. Excuse me? That's also what Jamie Raskin came out and said. Hakeem Jeffries came out and said on the House floor, like, she was texting one of her constituents, and then Jamie Raskin had the nerve to be like, what about all of you that have texted, blah, blah, what about all of you? What about all? No. I don't want, like, the Democratic base, nobody in your country wants whataboutism when it comes to pedophiles and texting with pedophiles, communicating with pedophiles, hanging out with pedophiles, being friends with pedophiles, being business associates of pedophiles, registered sex offenders, sex traffickers of young girls. That should be, you should be able to come out and condemn that across party lines. And when somebody gets accused of being associate of Jeffrey Epstein on the Democratic side, you need to say, yeah, you know what? You're right. They need to be censured. They need to resign. They need to step down. Something needs to happen because we cannot have that. We cannot just look at the Republicans, well, you guys are pretty bad too. When it's about actual literal crimes and pedophilia, sex trafficking. Like, let's not play the what about game right now, Jamie Raskin. The fuck?
Next, is that an acronym? Epstein replied, that's his assistant. A few minutes later, Plaskett asked this.
As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
A minute after Plaskett wrapped up her questioning there, Epstein texted her, quote, good work. The text exchange comes just 3 months after the Miami Herald published its investigation detailing Epstein's abuse of young girls. And tonight, House Democrats are fiercely defending Stacey Plaskett, with the leader, Hakeem Jeffries, calling the censure vote a political stunt, as Plaskett is echoing that defense and denying that Epstein had any influence on her questions.
Denying that how? Where the fuck do you get off coming out and lying about that when we can all see that he literally had an influence on what questions you asked? The fuck are you talking about? You corrupt ass motherfucker. What the hell? What? Excuse me?
They've taken a text exchange which shows no participation, no assistance, no involvement in any illegal activity, and weaponized it for political theater.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Go to hell. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You were messaging a registered sex offender who was charged with pedophilia, sex trafficking of minors, and was exposed again 10 years later, just a few months before that. And you most likely knew about it, and you still thought it was appropriate to fucking message him in the middle of a fucking hearing? Are you fucking kidding me? To ask for questions? Are you fucking kidding me? What is wrong with you?
Because that's what this is.
And do you think I'm fucking stupid, bitch? Are you fucking kidding me? Hello?
And my source tonight is the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries. And thank you, sir, for being here. Obviously, a lot of movement up on Capitol Hill today. And you heard Stacey Plaskett there. She was arguing her texts with Jeffrey Epstein were not illegal. But in your view, were they appropriate?
Well, Stacey Plaskett is not accused of violating any House.
Wait. I'm so tired of the bullshit. Stop talking. Stop with the politicians speak. Stop with the scripts. Stop, Hakeem. Stop. Just say what you think. Yes or no? Do you think it was appropriate? Yes or no? He is just as bad as a fucking Republican when they're being asked a question in a hearing. Like, these motherfuckers cannot give a fucking straight answer on anything. Like, it is so
House rule, any law, any statute, and she's clearly and unequivocally.
That's not what she asked you. She asked you if you think it was appropriate. She asked for your opinion on whether or not you think it's appropriate. Not whether she broke any laws or broke any rules. She asked you a question, which was a yes or no question. It was actually a very simple one. And you're going in this bullshit wraparound fucking answer to fucking bullshit everybody when you could just say what you feel. Do you think it was appropriate or not, Hakeem? Because when you bullshit like this, everybody's going to assume that you think it was appropriate, that you think it was okay that she did that. And obviously you do, because you defended her on the House floor and behind closed doors. You made a deal with Republicans to not censure one of their Congress members for, what was it? Oh, right, domestic abuse. You thought it was okay to not censure a Republican lawmaker for domestic abuse because you needed to defend your girl. Excuse me? For messaging an international sex trafficker of minors, young girls. At this point, are you also protecting the pedophile ring? Like, this motherfucker, he is one of the most insidious people. Like, I don't understand him and how he, like, sleeps at night. He can cheerlead a fucking genocide, choose to fucking fund it and fund Israel to the nth degree, take over $1 million of their money, and go to bed at night normally. He is a duplicitous piece of fucking shit. Hakeem Jeffries needs to step down. Somebody needs to primary him, and I hope Cheyase does. I hope he's actually sincere about what he's saying, but we'll see. But I hope to God Hakeem Jeffries loses his motherfucking seat, because right now at this moment in time, what you need is somebody who can, like, a straight talker, at least. Somebody who's not going to bullshit every fucking question they get. Every fucking difficult question. Every time they get fucking follow-up, they're just going to keep on bullshitting and bullshitting and bullshitting. It's bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Who do you represent other than AIPAC? And the establishment, the Democratic establishment. What are you here for, Hakeem? Who do you speak for?
Denounced Jeffrey Epstein. And I think what the survivors fought for today is the type of transparency that came out of the House, went through the Senate, and is now on its way to Donald Trump's desk, where hopefully he'll sign it into law.
I am going to bullshit you until you stop asking me questions that I don't want to answer. And then we're going to move on, and I'm going to keep on bullshitting you until this interview is over. And we're going to keep on that cycle of me being a bullshitter for the rest of my term. Like, he's so rehearsed. It's so frustrating to watch. Like, and it's not even good. Like, he wants to be Obama so bad. He wants to be Obama so bad. So bad. Like, the cadence, like, everything, like, it's, oh my God. And he thinks he is. That's the thing. This ugly fuck. Anyways.
Law, because at the end of the day, All the American people are asking for is
At the he has gone into like she asked him if he thinks it's appropriate. He started talking about whether it's lawful, whether it was a criminal act, whether it broke the rules, what the victims want, the House resolution, Trump needs to sign it, the victims want. None of those answered the question she asked, by the way. And this is why everybody hates you, Hakeem. Well, also because you are a Zionist shill and you shake your ass for Israel dollars.
just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, which is why these Epstein files that Donald Trump
You're talking about the truth, and nothing but the truth. But bitch, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up! What the fuck are you talking about? You literally can't even answer a straight question. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is out there tweeting, calling for execution of sitting Democratic politicians for exercising their free speech to reiterate a rule to not follow unlawful orders, which is part of the oath that you take when you join something like the military. You take an oath to the Constitution, and if you are taking, you cannot take unconstitutional orders. And Hakeem Jeffries can't even come out and say that it's inappropriate to be texting an international sex trafficker pedophile. What is wrong with you, Hakeem? Like, what the fuck?
Trump and his administration has been hiding for months need to be.
But he can come out and condemn socialism. Remember, full list of Democrats voting to condemn socialism as Mondani comes to town. Number 36, Hakeem Jeffries of New York. So this was a resolution that he could sign on to. Not even just like a simple fucking question from a reporter. This was a resolution that he signed on to condemn the horrors of socialism. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But you cannot stand up and say, yeah, it was probably inappropriate to be texting an international sex trafficker, pedophile. Hello, Hakeem? Like, where is your brain? What?
Be released.
But do you think it was appropriate for her to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein 11 years after he pleaded guilty?
Shout out to Caitlin Collins and Abby Phillip. They are doing the Lord's work over there at CNN. And look at his face. He's like so taken off guard that she actually followed up. Like, it's called journalism, Hakeem.
I mean, I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett to discuss this issue because we've been focused today.
Yeah, but you know, you're well aware of what the issue is. So you should be able to give a clear answer on how you feel. That's like yes or no.
On making sure that there was a decisive vote as it related to the Epstein files and the release. I'm thankful for the work of Representative Massey.
What the damn hell are you talking about? Like, what? What are you talking? Why are you talking in circles? Hello, Hakeem. Can you come back down to earth and answer the fucking question, please? He's like short-circuiting because she's not following the specific script that he wants her to follow, because he cannot operate in any other fucking way. He's completely feckless. He has no backbone. He pretty much has no opinion for himself because he is just an establishment Democrat, basically a conservative, fucking Israel shill, shake his ass for AIPAC money. Like, he just completely feckless. Completely feckless. He is not willing to come out and say that that's inappropriate. He was fought against censuring her, stood up for her on the House floor and fought against it and made a deal behind closed doors to not censure a Republican that had been, I'm pretty sure, very verifiably accused of domestic violence. So, like, You are so morally bankrupt, and you have no problem with, I don't understand, like, every time you open your phone, you don't see starving babies, skeletons of children, screaming and crying because they can't find their parents, because they can't find food or clean water. Children walking around without shoes, in tatters of clothes, with their ribs poking out of their bodies. And you can just support that. Go to hell. I hope it's hot.
Rokana, but most importantly, the survivors.
Do you plan to talk to her about it?
I think that we
Look at Caitlin Collins. She's ticked. Like, she's like, just give me an answer. Like, what's fucking going on? More of this, please. More of this. We need to encourage this when it happens, because the complete collapse of the media and the press has been so fucking extremely aggravating, frustrating to watch, because what the fuck? What happened to follow-up questions? Like, this is one of the first times I've seen somebody from CNN or MSNBC or MS Now. Bitch, you should have just called it DNC News at this point. Fuck off. But this is one of the, she's one of the only people that actually presses people, and props to fucking her, because we need more of this, and she should do it more. Good for you, Caitlin.
successfully defeated a resolution that lacked any basis, was not credible, and was being brought by an individual who was trying to weaponize this issue to reinvigorate his own failed gubernatorial campaign in South Carolina. It was rejected on a bipartisan basis on the floor today.
She didn't ask you about that, though. She asked you about you and your opinion, what you're going to do, dipshit. Like, the more you bullshit, the more you just look even more guilty. Like, it's like, hello? Like, ew.
That's the end of the story.
Yeah, I was just asking if you personally believe messaging with Jeffrey Epstein, who is at that point a registered sex offender, is appropriate for a member of the House Democratic Caucus.
That's the third time you've asked me this question, and I'm going to give you the same exact answer.
Because you've given a bullshit. You haven't answered her question any of the single times. You've given bullshit out of your fucking mouth. Like, it's your fucking day job. Like, what is this, Hakeem? Like, what is this? You're unable to answer a question so much, like, and now you're going to be condescending to Caitlin Collins because she's doing her job, and you're not? You incompetent fool? What the fuck is wrong with you, you troglodyte? The fuck?
Our focus today is on making sure
is bullshitting the press, bullshitting the people, keeping everything the same, status quo. Gotta suck up to the billionaires, suck up to corporate interests, suck up to fucking capitalism. Gotta cuck ourselves to the white man. Fuck you. You're such a fucking sellout. I hope
that the Jeffrey Epstein files were released. If you want to have a conversation with Stacey Plaskett about it, I'm sure she'd be willing to talk to you.
I just want you to answer the question, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? I just want you to answer the question whether you think it's appropriate to be messaging a international sex trafficking pedophile registered sex offender during a congressional hearing. Do you think that's appropriate? Yes or no? It should be a simple yes. Well, it should be no. It should be a simple no. I was going to say it should be simple yes or no, but it should be a simple no. Like, that is not appropriate. We don't want that in the Democrat Party. We should say, no, that's what you should say. No, we do not want that behavior permeating the Democratic Party. Am I speaking Chinese? Because I've never been known to do that. Is this hard to understand? Like, I know you can't hear me, but like, Jesus fuck, it should be common sense.
It was an illegitimate effort to try to remove her from the House Committee on Intelligence, and that was defeated in a bipartisan way.
Because you defended her and leveraged the fact that you would not censure a domestic abuser, somebody who was accused very legibly of domestic assault and abuse. So why the fuck why are you willing to protect somebody that was messaging an international sex trafficking pedophile? You're willing to protect her and not censure an abuser, somebody who is very verifiably accused of domestic abuse, in order to protect somebody that was messaging a registered sex offending pedophile. What is wrong with you? Hello? Like, what? Wait, what? No, wait. We're supposed to be against pedophiles. We're supposed to be against messaging pedophiles. Hakeem, it's not supposed to be a hard question.
Well, let me ask you about you, because the White House has been highlighting an email that I'm sure you've seen today that Jeffrey Epstein got in 2013. They say it shows you were soliciting money and dinner from an Epstein. The email was not sent from you. It was sent from a political consulting firm called Dynamic SRG that says, "We are thrilled to announce we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you would like to get involved." What's your response? Do you recall that email being sent to Jeffrey Epstein from that team?
Yeah, of course, I have no recollection of the email. I've never had a...
Every single fucking thing he said in his interview is bullshit. Like, what? You have no recollection? You don't remember an international sex trafficker? Fuck off. You're such a bullshitter. Even if it is fully innocent, you could have just came out and said that. What the fuck? It makes you look even more guilty. The fuck? I have no recollection of the email? Shut up. Oh my God. Yeah, and Trump has no recollection of hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. Like, what are we talking about? Like, Blue MAGA is in full effect. You guys need to start a third party in America, just generally. But I think you really do need to start a far left, what you would call a far left, or like a left, just a left party. You need to have a party full of leftists, and then you need to have a centrist party. You either need to leave the Democratic Party, let the centrists take over, and they'll never win elections. And then the leftist party can duke it out with the right party. Like,
Conversation with him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing. And that's why, I'm just strongly supportive of the effort.
this dude is the fucking worst. Like, I have no words for him. Like, I have no words for this man. No words.
The survivors to make sure that everything can come out, whatever is in those Department of Justice files.
So you never got a donation from Jeffrey Epstein or anything like that?
Certainly not.
And just on this passing...
You went begged for it.
Today,
You're so weird.
To this point, I mean, this is something that even Ro Khanna told me just a few moments ago. He never even thought it would get to this point today. I wonder what it says to you that the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, fought this so much and had a concern over...
I don't care what he said. I don't care about his opinion. He's so compromised. It's not even fucking funny. Like, I do not understand how anybody trusts him. He is the worst. God, fuck you, Hakeem. I hope, go to fucking hell. I hope it's fucking hot, bitch. Fuck you, Hakeem Jeffries. Step the fuck down. You are feckless and you have no business leading anything. You have no balls. You are just a little bitch shaking your ass for Israel dollars at every fucking chance you get. You are a bullshitter. You can't give a straight answer. All you do is talk in script. It's so bad too. Your cadence is not good. Your voice sucks. You do not have the it factor you think you do, and you try so severely to have, but you don't have it. Like, you just don't. And it is so fucking excruciating listening to you talk, because every single time you just spew bullshit like an asshole on a cow. Like, it is so fucking frustrating. Get it together, you train wreck. What the fuck is wrong with you?